Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting a series of requests from our Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much, Hinshell, my friend, for your request here. This is a little bit different. I've posted the reaction to this alongside at the same time over on the main page, Jeff Reacts 12. So if you just want to see the reaction, it's over there. This is the channel where I do more in-depth looks at my interpretation of lyrics, meanings, things I want to talk about in the video. So these videos are a little bit more in-depth, like I said. This reaction set is a little bit different than what I would normally do, and it's because Hinshaw and I both kind of talked about it and agreed like this might be how to best approach it. So most of you know I don't do full album reactions unless they're sponsored, which in this case this is. But when I do a full album reaction, whether it's mini album, full album, whatever, we normally listen through it and react to it, and then if there's a music video in the middle there, then we'll do a separate breakdown, or I'll post it separately. But with this, Younha made a music video for each of the 4 tracks on this album. The album, of course, is called Subcharacter 1. The first track here, or Chapter 1, is Seasonal Crime. And so what we're going to have here is, like I said, there's 4 of them. As I'm recording this, my idea is to have all 4 be posted on the same day on both channels, reaction and breakdown, at increments so that you can follow along with the story. I hope that ends up working out. We'll see. But I think that takes care of everything. So yeah, just be prepared that rather than being a full listen through, this is going to be a reaction to the whole album. It's just going to be in separate music video reactions. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. Again, this is Seasonal Crime. You already know that if you've clicked on the video, but you know, whatever. Oh, by the way, this song was originally done by an artist named Miro. I don't know what the song sounds like originally. That's going to be the theme for all of these songs. I have not listened to them, so I'm approaching this from the perspective of someone who's hearing this stuff for the first time. So if I didn't know any better, I would just think this is Younha's stuff. All right, we've got our character here chilling out in her room. We got some Younha albums in here with the mindset specifically thrown in there. All right, I see you. Younha. We got some manga over there. All right, we got a bonsai tree.
그림자 사이에 맴도는 향기가 조용히 너를 부러워. 선명했던 날들도 어느새 다 지워버린 채 차갑게 잊혀져만 가. 그렸던 날들만 바람에 날아가고 헤어물은 다 추억만 고민하는 채 지새 하늘 위 피어진 구름처럼 사라지는 나는 후회도 잊어버린 채 세상에 피어나다 작은 겨울에 지는 날처럼 길고 멀었던 그리운 계절을 불러.
Okay. So first off, of course I mentioned this in the reaction, but I love how absolutely stunningly beautiful her voice is, especially when she goes up for those higher notes. Her control, her precision is on another level, and the notes are so crystal clear. Like every single thing that she's saying just sounds almost like a chime or a bell in my head, and it's honestly quite magical. Now, I am using a lyric page that I already know has slightly different interpretation, or not interpretation, but like a translation, because I think this is more like a literal and this is more of like a accurate, but because I don't have this in paragraph form, it's a lot harder to go through. So forgive me if there's some little nuance differences, but verse 1 we have, like the night when the warm wind brushed past my eyes, the faint little memories of that day fade away every time I open my eyes. They blur, and when I close them again today, I paint yesterday as if it might vanish once more. So, okay, we're getting at memories here, at least in the first verse. So we're thinking back to whatever day this was. A warm wind brushed past her eyes, like whenever that was. The memories of that day are fading. We're moved, like as time goes, we're losing that. And so she mentions they blur when I close them again today, talking, of course, about her eyes. I paint yesterday, so she tries to remember it again because she keeps losing it, and so she has to remind herself and reimagine it. Pre-chorus, between the falling shadows, the lingering scent quietly calls you. Even the days that were once so vivid are now erased. Coldly, they're being forgotten. So now we're losing our memories, and I don't know if we're, like, it doesn't seem like we're doing it willingly. It's like the words like are now erased imply that it's being taken, whether just by time or, something. I'm going to try and remember we're at the 124 mark, and I'm going to go back and see here. So I once again sketch yesterday that seems so faint. So yeah, okay, we get the same type of meaning here. Amidst the falling shadows, a lingering scent quietly blows you back. So okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Not scent, sense. So a lingering scent. You know how smells can be attached to memories or feelings, right? So like you might smell, I don't know, an apple pie and think back to grandma's house or something. I don't know. That's a weird example, but maybe. Or maybe you smell pizza and you think back to like the first time you ever had it or whatever. So in this case, a lingering scent, something triggers that and it blows you back, like it takes you back in time and causes you to remember. I'm glad I actually went back and did this a little bit because I did not understand why we were talking about a lingering scent in there. Erasing even the vivid days. So yeah, we do still have the word erasing here. We also have the bonsai tree, but it's hooked up to like all these like computer wires and such. And remember, I don't know if like this is supposed to be, well, I know this is Younha, but I don't know if the girl in the video is supposed to represent Younha or someone else. But we did see the girl like watering the bonsai tree. So maybe this is, or maybe it is supposed to be her like at a younger time in this story. I don't know. But whatever it was, like we had the like being blown back, and then it says erasing even the vivid days. Like it's weird that that would be the follow up to that line, because we just talked about the scent taking you back and triggering memories, and now it's like we're erasing the vivid memories without noticing as they fade away. Interesting. Okay. So then we had the chorus is way different. We have blow away just the gloomy days into the wind. So it's like this person, Younha in this example, is trying to forget the negative days, the gloomy ones, the sad ones, but not necessarily the good ones. Leaving only the good memories as if I took a bite of them. Like it reminds me of like an apple or like the apple pie thing. The heart fading away, forgets even its own regrets. So it almost feels like we're talking about how even though we want to get rid of the bad memories, they're still worth keeping, uh, because it's like part of you and part of your heart. So this line here, the heart fading away, forgets even its own regrets. If you forget your regrets, then it's kind of like that phrase, like, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. If you forget your own regrets, not only do you forget why you had those regrets so that you don't make them again in the future, but you also just lose that part of yourself. And maybe in some cases you might be more than happy to lose that part, but it does still, the first part where it keeps you from remembering and being able to avoid those same mistakes in the future. Come bloom in my life, my most painful winter. So in this case, blooming in my life, my most painful winter. Okay, we're comparing memories to seasons, because we've got winter now, talking about those regrets and the things that we are trying to forget. But now she's saying come bloom in my life, as if that is like, I want to hold on to that. So let's see. I call out the longing season, so long and distant as days gone by. Um, so yeah, my interpretation of that is that, even the bad memories kind of make up who we are, and they're worth holding on to, because like here, I'll just read it off of here because it's mostly the same. Calling forth the season I long for. If you've ever heard the phrase, you can't know the light without the dark, or you can't have joy without sorrow. Like, there are these duality concepts, and if every moment was a happy moment, you wouldn't know that it was a happy moment. Sometimes you do need some pain. Like, nobody wants pain, but you need some pain to remind you just how good the good actually is. And so that's another reason why this painful winter, she might be calling it, because it helps her remember the spring and the summer, those times of thriving that she longs for. Okay. And then we have this scene, it goes back to her, like, I guess in school, and I don't know what she's putting in the locker, but it looks like a picture of some sort. All right, let's find out. Hold on. I just wanted to see what manga were there. It looked like... No, I don't think that's One Piece. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'll maybe on my own time just for giggles, but she's looking for something. And also we have another line here about seasons, the night that left like a spring breeze, which we'll talk about the whole verse, but since I'm already here, a spring breeze is something, refreshing, life-bringing, essentially, like rebirthing. That season of spring, and a breeze, we usually think of spring being relatively mild and pleasant. Maybe not always, but it's a time of new beginnings. And you hear about the spring breezes, whatever. And so as spring gives way to summer, then it starts to heat up and all that. So if the night left like a spring breeze, it's fading. It's moving on. But it was something that was maybe pleasant. Okay. Not sure what she's looking for, though. Is it what she just put in the locker, maybe? Like, is this a flashback or something? I'm not really sure. She can't find it, whatever it is. Actually, if that picture represented memories and she can't find it, remember we did talk about erasing them. Maybe she's trying to recollect or trying to find the memory and it's been taken or given away or locked away in this case, and she can't find it.
실루엣 사이로 눈부신 바람이 또다시 너를 불어와 선명했던 날들도 이제는 다 잊어버린 채 조용히 흩어져만 가.
Okay, before she gets into this magical chorus again, verse 2, we've got a night that left like a spring breeze, the night I sold all the seasons inside me. Oh, did I miss that line in here? Yeah, I sure did. I was too busy looking at her looking for the thing. That's literally exactly what happened. The night I sold every season within me, or in this case, clearly we're talking about memories. I gave those memories away. I sold them. At what cost, we don't know. But you see her in this part of the video, she's looking for those memories again, and she can't find them because she doesn't remember them. She doesn't know what she did with them because they're gone. She sold them. What sound do you hear in your heart? So, wait. Oh, okay. At first I thought maybe she was crying here, but it looks like she's more just like dismayed, maybe. I'm trying to figure out because the next line is different. The night that left like a spring breeze, the night I sold every season within me. All right, we got that. Through the deepening silhouettes. Yeah, that starts the pre-chorus. So was over here, there's another line that says, what sound do you hear in your heart? But that's not in these subtitles. So reading that, though, what sound do you hear in your heart would be like, if your memories are gone, what do you feel? And how do you know you feel it? You don't remember what triggered those emotions. But the pre-chorus, through deepening silhouettes, the dazzling wind calls you. In here, it was a little bit different. Through the deepening silhouettes, a blinding wind blows you back again. So the blinding wind would be similar to that lingering scent we talked about earlier, like it takes you back. But this blinding wind is obviously the wind being what blows you, but I'm trying to think if it's blinding, maybe it's trying to deliberately take away your sight so that you have to use your other senses to think and feel and remember. I could be wrong, though, about that. Someone else, I'm sure you guys have a more accurate or thorough interpretation of that line. Let me know what you guys are thinking that about that one. But even though days that were once vivid are now forgotten, quietly they scatter away. So yeah, it's the same thing like being erased. Then we're gonna start the chorus again. So let's back up just a little. There's another season. Okay, let's talk about the chorus then. May only the painful days be carried away by the wind, leaving behind just the memories as if bitten and preserved. I really wish I just had these subtitles in paragraph form. But we've got blow away just the painful days into the wind. We've talked about that already. Leaving only the good memories as if I took a bite of them. The memory fading away like the moonlight around daybreak. So before we talked about like fading away like that spring breeze. Now it's, you know, the giving a visual guide to how the memory is literally fading or slipping away. It's like as day is giving way, or sorry, as night is giving way into day, you know, that moonlight dissipates gradually and then the sunlight comes out, but you know, there's no trace of the moon until the sun goes away again. Forgets even its own sorrows. Come sink in my life, my deepest summer. So my deepest summer, I feel like, is like the time of activity and passion and where the life is basically. So come sink in my life is kind of saying like, come to me, all the good memories at least, and all of the things that made life life. I call upon the nostalgic season. I thought this shot was funny too because like I mentioned this in the reaction. We are the camera that's recording the camera that's recording her. Like this is some Inception stuff right here. So I call upon the nostalgic season, so long and distant as days go by. Nostalgia obviously is just another type of memory, a feeling you get when you think back on things. And so, okay, this is the bridge. Let me back up. We already finished the chorus.
하얗고 하얗던 내 계절아 끝이 없고 그치지
So
않는 비에도
she's bundling up here, but isn't it like, well, I mean, we called for the summer, but that doesn't mean summer's here.
다가오니까 그 시간이 두려워도 난 괜찮아 잿빛 사이퍼의 네 비가 선명하게 모든 계절을 다시 찾아갈 테니.
Okay, so bridge-wise, we've got my season's so pure and white. So now we're, of course, talking about winter. The sun still shines after an endless rain. So even, in endless sorrow, there's still light to be found, and there's still hope and, happiness, joy. Because remember, we're comparing these seasons and these weather effects to feelings and memories. Let's see. Even if that time scares me, I'm fine. So, yeah, like I can make it through any hardship. I'll be okay. This azure rain amidst the gray sky will vividly find its way back to all the seasons. Usually if we're talking about like endless rain, again, we're talking about sorrow and stuff like that. But the lyrics over here are slightly different. So let's see if they give us a little bit more of a picture here. So, oh, my pure white season, even in endless unceasing rain, the light comes. So yeah, again, that same thing, like even through, obstacles and trials, tribulations, painful times, there's still light at the end of the tunnel. So even if I fear that time, I'm all right. This blue rain through the ashes will clearly reclaim all the seasons once more. So actually, that does give me a little bit more. If the rain is coming through the gray skies, we think of winter as having gray skies usually. And if it reclaims the seasons, it's going to find the memories. It's going to awaken the memories or blossom them. It's like spring will be back. And then we're going to get this chorus again.
내 세상은 내 방의 너비가 전부였는데.
I wish I knew what this part was
그 작은
saying.
물건 하나가 뭐라고 결국 다시 학교에 돌아오게 만들었을까?
In the video there, you see, remember this was a locker, and now like her hands have been weathered. She's gone through life, but now the lock is broken, and she's able to get back in there and get those memories back, which is important. Okay, so let's talk about that final chorus here. We have blow away just the blurry days into the wind. So blurry could be like the still like the gloomy whatever, but it could also just be like days of uncertainty. Like now we want clarity, whether it's good or bad. We just want to know. Um, Leaving only the good memories as if I took a bite of them. Uh, the time forgetting the azure wind and seasons passed by. So as time goes, we're still forgetting things that we experienced. Right now, if you thought back to any day in your life, it would be difficult unless there was something really vivid that you had a memory of. Like, you hear the phrase, like, oh, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning. But in reality, you don't remember every detail of every day that has ever passed, or even when it might have happened in most cases. So, time is forgetting. Your memories are slipping, whether you're losing them on purpose like we have in the story, or whether it's just something that wasn't important enough to stick out to you. So that's what I take from like the time forgetting all of these seasons. uh, so forgets even its own yesterday. Yeah, like I would wager that most of you can't remember every single minute of yesterday. um, unless again something big happened. But uh, come only shine on me, my sorrowful love. So we talked about the joy and the happiness, the light, the sunshine, but now it's also kind of the sorrowful love is a sad thing, but we are asking that sadness to shine down on us as well, because we've realized at this point that even the bad memories are precious in some way to us. Um, Beneath the longing season, so long and distant as days gone by, bloom out petals and the blue sky. So now, like spring, we want spring back, that season of rebirth and recollection in this case. Leaving only the regrets as if I took a bite of them. So now we flipped it. Now we have realized our appreciation for those sad times or the regrets, and we want to hold on to them as well. All the joys and sorrows now drifts away. So good and bad, obviously, into days that can never return. The beautiful day that bloomed in my life. So now we're almost trying to not just having the good and the bad memories, but appreciating that everything that happens is part of the beauty of life. And it's the good and the bad, the joy, the sorrow, whatever, is how we know we are alive, because we feel these things. So the beautiful day that bloomed in my life calls out to the longing season, so long and dark as the night passed. Yeah, and then she goes to reclaim those memories, but I wish I knew what the subtitles said. Okay, so I took a little bit of a break so I could work on trying to translate this, like these 3 lines that we didn't get subtitles for. Excuse me. And this first one, there, when I put it through Google versus when I use like the phone to translate, these lines come out slightly different. So anyone who wants to provide like a definitive explanation of what they are, let me know in the comments. But to the best of my translating ability, we've got so my world was only the width of my room. So thinking back on how like nothing else mattered, it was just her space, and everything in there was, the happy, the sad, the clutter, whatever. That was her whole world. And we saw in her room there that she had all that stuff, and then she was trying to find those memories again, that she had locked away in the school locker. And then the next line was, to think that such a small object could matter so much. Remember the lock? She had put the picture in the locker, and then lost it essentially, and that was what caused all of this. Like, she lost all of the memories, and then she breaks back in, And this part says something like, this is the biggest one where it had, so one of the versions said, so did you end up making them come back to school? And this one, if I use the phone, says, did it eventually make him return to school? So I don't know if there's a him versus them, but yeah, like, did they end up coming back for those memories? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in chapter 2. Alright, guys, so that was Seasonal Crime from Younha / Miro. Hinshao, thank you again so much for the request, my friend. We'll pick up in chapter 2 a little bit later. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you're supporting Younha. Subscribe to her channels, pick up the album if you can find it. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell to enable your notifications. And if you want to get a request done like Hinshao did, there are 2 main ways to do that. You can either subscribe to Patreon at the gray tier or higher. Shout out to our friends who have done that. Thank you guys all so much for your support. The gray tier and above get access to all the content that's over on the site, as well as the guaranteed monthly request. But if you're not interested in Patreon, then you can also check the description below. There's a link to PayPal and instructions on how to use it. So feel free to take a look, and I will see you for the next one. Take care, everyone.